Hello and welcome to White Horse Music TV! My name is Richard Badinner and I'm co-owner of this wonderful shop with my lovely wife Michelle Badinner, who's not here right now unfortunately. Today I'm going to be doing a demonstration, a review of 4 different really awesome cellos in their price ranges. And this has been sort of inspired by Glenn. This is a person, he's got 2 N's in the name Glenn, and I know what it feels like to have 2 N's in your name. I've got 2 N's in my surname, so I feel for you. No, I think it's a good thing, 2 N's, it's fine. As many N's as you like. 3 N's, I'm even fine with 3 N's. I'm getting a bit off track, but so I'm going to be demonstrating 2 different Scotch Owl cellos. One is an SCC100, and then there's an SCC250, which is a higher level model, and then a Haide cello, which is pretty tasty. It's a Stradivarius model, and then a Struna Maestro, which is their top model. So let's have a bit of a look. Okay, so first up I'm going to be showing you the Scotch Owl SCC100 cello. So this one, I'll bring it right up close so you can have a look at the varnish. See how it's very slightly antiqued. You can feel the ripples in the spruce there. And that allows the wood to vibrate the way it wants to. Here's the shape back here, so it's a Stradivarius copy. So each of these different models, so the SCC100, they can copy different famous Italian makers. This one's copied from Stradivarius. And so it's a beautiful looking cello. I've used Larsen Magnacore strings on it. So Larsen are fantastic cello strings. And I often use the Larsen standard cello strings. These are Larsen Magnacore, which are sort of like brighter and stronger sounding than the standard Larsens. So they suit this cello. Each of these cellos I've used different strings on, the ones that I think suit that particular cello. So I'll give this one a bit of a play to start with. So, you know, this cello review being for Glenn has asked me to do a little bit of playing up the fingerboard, and I did a little bit there, but you'll notice there was no thumb position or anything like that because I am a luthier first, someone who makes the parts for instruments. Secondly, I'm a violinist. Thirdly, I'm a cellist, a self-taught cellist. So there you go. So I'll be playing up the fingerboard on the other ones as well. But to me, okay, sound-wise, this had lots and lots of depth. Amazing depth and beautiful ring, and really even across the strings as well. Sometimes you get lots of depth down the bottom, but then it screeches up the top. You know, like sometimes it's an uneven sort of sound. This one has an even sound. And up the fingerboard. I should have stuck to the first time I went up to the fingerboard. I sort of like fell off the edge that time. Okay, next up we have Scotch Owl SCC250. These cellos, they have different names in the US and other countries. They're imported into Australia with different codes because the supplier uses different quality, asks for different quality parts from Scotch Owl, and so they're slightly different. You'll see the varnishing here is a little bit more antiqued than on the SCC100, and the grain is a little bit more pronounced. So they've used more layers of varnish, but much finer. There's a huge amount of work that's gone into this instrument into the varnishing and the making. That flaming is beautiful and the varnish is so transparent. And this is a copy of a Montagnana cello. So Montagnana was a famous cello maker, and it's a tiny little bit broader than the Stradivarius model of the SCC100. All right, let's give this one a bit of a try. That is a beast. It's just like, you know, it's got a huge amount of depth down there. It's really, really deep, but they've somehow made it so that it's got that depth, but there's also this quite angry core to the sound as well, which gives it a bit of beefy projection. Yeah, I would not want to get this cello angry, I can tell you. So yeah, I would say I can see where the price difference is between those two. There's a lot more work that goes into this. And then in the end, this one sounds a lot deeper. It is a different character though. I'm not saying that everyone would definitely prefer this one to the other, but that is a beast. I'm a little bit nervous. Just having that one sitting next to me now, it's just like, yikes. Okay, so this next one, this one is a Haide cello, which you'll see is a lot more antiqued than the Scotch Owls. As you see, the cello has been sitting on its back there for a couple of 100 years or 300 years, and it's worn where someone's been, you know, playing up the neck and that sort of thing, or where the cello's been resting against their body here, and so it's worn away. And so they've done all those things and spent a huge amount of time on making this cello really look like it's a Stradivarius that was made 300 years ago or so. Beautiful. All right, let's see what the Haide cello sounds like. That's really beautiful. It's sort of like to differentiate between this and the Scotch Owls, I'd say it's slightly more woody sounding. It's like there's a lot of woodiness to it. It's probably got similar or between the other two as far as the depth goes. It's definitely a beautiful looking cello. I don't know if I brought this up close to show you the back as well. Yeah, so it's sort of like it's the depth between the two others. It's got a woodier sort of sound. And it's very pleasant as well. Really nice to listen to. Ooh, it's a tough competition. Now, the final cello in this competition, and please, in the comments below, just down here, just right down there, tell Glenn which cello he should get, or which few cellos that he should get. So this next one is the Struna Maestro. So this is the top of the range of the Strunas, and you can see from the varnish, it's sort of reasonably similar, and it's sort of amazing transparency similar to the SCC250, the Scotch Owl one, but it has that more antique look like the J. Haide cello. And see this patch here, down here, yeah, that's right, worn away over a large amount of time, and really just amazingly well done. I mean, just imagine putting all that work in. And they've got, you know, they've got designs and photos of the cellos that they're trying to copy. This is a copy of Ruggieri cello, which is a very old, you know, cello made 300 years ago or so. And with the Strunas, they use very old wood. So this is using Italian spruce and Bosnian maple on the back and side. So let's see what it sounds like. I'd say more ring than the others. That's it's sort of like the Italian spruce just ringing and ringing. So that's beautiful. I'd say it's got similar amount of depth to the J. Haide cello. Similar depth in that way. And it really responds very, very well. Like the notes just sort of jump out. Being a violinist originally, it's sort of, you find cellos a lot more work when you're playing them initially. And, you know, response is a really important thing to me, specifically. But, yeah, and on this particular one, I've used 2 Larsen strings on the top. This is a very common professional setup for cellos. 2 Larsen strings on the top, which are warm sounding. 2 spiracles on the bottom, which are bright sounding. And often the bottom strings on a cello can be a bit muddy. And so it sort of like evens up the sound. But those 2 spiracle strings, being so strong and bright and ringing, they resonate while you're playing the top 2, the Larsen strings, and it makes the Larsen strings make the Larsen strings resonate more just by having the spiracles on the bottom. So that's an interesting thing as well. And I think I used. I should tell you about the other set of strings that I've used. So on the SCC250, I used that same setup of 2 spiracles and 2 Larsens. But on this one, you'll see it's got 2 Larsen magnicore, which are those orangey ones, which are quite bright, like the spiracles on that other cello. An Eva Perazzi D string, which is bright, but maybe not quite as bright, and then a Larsen on the A, and that's giving it a smooth transition across the strings. Yeah, there you go. I don't want to get too technical with the strings, do I? I'm going a little bit crazy today. So, I reckon it's going to be a hard choice, and if you can help Glenn out, that'd be good. Please let him know what you think.